Hi, thank you for practicing with me today. I'm so glad that you're here. Before you step onto your mat, if a towel is something that you like to use in your practice for your knees, now would be a good time to grab that. We'll have one pose today where we'll be on our knees and tabletop, and so if a towel is something that feels good to your knees, feel free to get that. And as we step on our mat today, we're actually going to start in a standing pose at the front of our mat. We're going to start in mountain pose or Tadasana. Grounding your feet into the mat, maybe you're lifting up your toes and then pressing them back down into the mat. Maybe your arms are by your side, or maybe they're in prayer position at your heart. Maybe taking a moment to pretend like there's a string at the top of your head and almost like someone's pulling on it. And as we stand here, how are you feeling as you come to your mat today? What are your thoughts like? Does your heart feel heavy or does it feel light? Is there anything you're carrying from maybe yesterday or today? Just maybe taking this time to hold gratitude for your body, for everything that your body has carried today, maybe this week. Sometimes, if I'm having a hard day, I like to take a moment to just place one hand on my heart and the other hand on my belly and feel my heartbeat, my breath as I inhale and exhale. Just connecting to my body. And when you're ready, maybe slowly dropping your chin down to your chest, very gently and slowly. Coming into a neck circle, maybe moving along in a circle, dropping your right ear to your right shoulder. And then slowly coming over and dropping your left ear to your left shoulder. Maybe move through these neck circles a few times on your own breath. And as you move through these neck circles, moving at your own pace, I invite you to listen as I read Psalm 139, verse 1. O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. When you're ready, coming to a place of stillness, maybe your gaze is in front of you. Maybe your arms are still down by your side, or maybe they're in prayer position. O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. If your arms are not down by your side, I invite you to bring them there. And then on an inhale, slowly bringing your shoulders up to your ears. And as you exhale, bringing them back down. Inhale, bringing your shoulders up by your ears. And then exhale, bringing them back down. Throughout this short practice, I invite you to move through a breath prayer, and that's simply on an inhale, you say a short phrase, and on an exhale, you say the rest of that phrase. And so with this breath prayer, I invite you to inhale, and as you inhale, maybe thinking to yourself, I am fully, and as you exhale, known and loved. Inhale, I am fully. Exhale, known and loved. Bringing your arms up overhead as your hands meet. Interlacing your fingers. We're going to slowly bring our arms and lean towards the right side. So your opposite hip is going to kind of pop out. So as your arms are outstretched on your right side, what does it feel like on your left side? What does it feel like as you inhale? When you're ready, coming back up to the center and then dropping to the other side. Maybe thinking about what it feels like as you inhale on this side. Maybe it feels different, maybe it doesn't. I invite you to just pay attention, maybe not judge or put a label of good or bad on it. Just paying attention to what your body is saying to you. When you're ready, coming back up into that neutral position. And maybe doing that on both sides one more time on your own pace. O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. When you're ready, we're going to meet in mountain pose with our hands in prayer position at our heart. Maybe your hands are against your chest and maybe you can feel your heartbeat. Another version of this verse says, You have searched me. You have searched me, Lord. And the Hebrew word for searched or examined is hakar, and it means to examine, but not just to examine, but to examine intimately. Your good shepherd knows you intimately. He knows you intimately, and he loves you more than anybody ever could. What does it feel like to know that God knows you that deeply? Maybe it's comforting, or maybe it's scary. And that's okay. When you're ready, we're going to bring our arms up in cactus arms, or I've also heard like goalpost arms. And maybe on an inhale, you bring your arms in, and then on your exhale, bringing them back out, and just moving through this flow a few more times. Maybe using that breath prayer as you inhale, I am fully, and on an exhale, known and loved. With your arms still in the cactus arms, we're going to come into chair pose. So slowly dropping like you're about to sit into a chair. Your tailbone will be pointed towards the back of your mat. Your knees will come over your ankles. Maybe staying here for a few seconds. What does it feel like in your body to be in chair pose? Maybe lifting up your toes again and then grounding them back into the mat. When you're ready, we're going to bring our hands into prayer hands and slowly come out of chair pose into a forward fold. So hinging at your hips, bending your knees as much as you need to. Maybe you drop your hands to the floor, and maybe they don't touch the floor, and that's okay. And when you're ready, we're going to slowly make our way to the mat, and I invite you to do that however feels comfortable in your body. If you just like to move from a forward fold into tabletop, that's okay. Maybe you want to move through your vinyasa, maybe coming into a plank, moving into an upward dog, a downward dog, and then tabletop. So whichever choice feels good to you, I invite you to take that. And we're just all going to meet on our mat and tabletop pose, with your palms pressed into the mat, your shoulders in line with your wrists, your knees in line with your hips, the shoelace side of your feet pressed into the mat. And as we take a moment here in tabletop, I wanted to read the second part of verse 1. You know me. You know everything about me. I think another way of saying that verse is you see me. You are seen by the Good Shepherd. And I know there are times and days when it doesn't feel like that. It's on those days that I have to lean harder into these truths. I am seen by the Good Shepherd. Taking a moment to take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, we're just going to come into a child pose. Slowly sinking your hips to your feet. Maybe your arms are outstretched in front of you, or maybe they're folded in front of you and you have your forehead resting on them. Feeling your belly against your thighs as you inhale. Maybe you can feel your breath in your pelvis in this position. Inhale, I am fully. Exhale, known and loved. You are fully known and loved by the Good Shepherd. O Lord, you have examined my heart and know everything about me. As we come to the end of this practice, if child pose feels restful to you, I invite you to stay in that pose. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Maybe you would like to come and lie on your mat. Or maybe you'd like to come back into a standing position, whatever feels most restful for your body. And as we end the class, I just wanted to end it with reading a paragraph of a book by K.J. Ramsey, The Lord is My Courage. Do we not realize we are living liturgies? We are containers for God's care. All that is needed is to practice staying there, at the table, ready to be refilled. We have only to try trusting that goodness comes from this host's hand. He who drank the dregs of death is here to stand. He serves us mercy. He gives us grace. His very breath fills us to make this table a spacious place. Thank you for practicing with me today.